For decades, Germany has been Europe's economic powerhouse, its industries and exports driving prosperity across the continent and beyond. The country's reputation for engineering excellence, efficiency, and fiscal discipline made it a model for others to follow, and its influence stretched far beyond its borders. German products, from cars to machinery, became synonymous with quality and reliability, fueling growth not just at home, but throughout the global economy. But as 2025 ends, that engine is stalling. Economic contraction, structural problems, and public anxiety have created a quiet crisis with global consequences. Once busy factories now stand idle, and uncertainty hangs over communities that once thrived on industrial success. Germany's GDP has shrunk for 2 consecutive years, shaking the foundations of its export-driven, fiscally prudent model. Investors and policymakers alike are grappling with the reality that the old formulas for success may no longer be enough. The ripple effects are already felt across the EU and global markets, making Germany's fate a worldwide concern. As the largest economy in Europe, its struggles threaten to drag down neighboring countries and disrupt international supply chains. This isn't just about numbers, it's about the social fabric of a nation and the stability of Europe. Families worry about their futures, and communities face new challenges as jobs disappear and opportunities dwindle. Germany's struggles mirror those of other advanced economies: aging populations, slow digital adaptation, and the need for innovation. The pressure to modernize is mounting, but change is never easy, especially for a country so deeply rooted in tradition. In this analysis, we'll explore the roots of Germany's predicament, the data behind its stagnation, and the social and political impacts of its downturn. We'll look at how leaders and citizens are responding to these unprecedented challenges. The solutions Germany chooses now will offer lessons for the world. Its response could set a precedent for how other nations confront similar crises in the years ahead. The path it takes will shape not only its own future, but the global economic landscape for years to come. The world is watching, and the stakes could not be higher. Germany's post-war economic miracle, the Wirtschaftswunder, built a model of high-quality manufacturing, skilled labor, and export dominance. This era transformed a war-torn nation into an industrial powerhouse, admired around the world for its precision engineering and reliable products. German factories became symbols of efficiency, and the country's workforce was celebrated for its expertise and discipline. For decades, made in Germany meant excellence, fueling prosperity and a robust welfare state. The German model provided not just jobs, but also social security, healthcare, and education, creating a sense of stability and pride among its citizens. Exports surged, and German products became household names across continents. But the pillars of this model are now under strain. Reliance on exports has made Germany vulnerable to global shocks and supply chain disruptions. Recent years have shown how quickly international crises can ripple through the German economy, leaving factories idle and workers uncertain about the future. The energy crisis after Russia's invasion of Ukraine exposed the risks of energy-intensive industries and dependence on fossil fuels. Rising energy prices have put immense pressure on manufacturers, threatening jobs and competitiveness, and forcing many to rethink their long-term strategies. While other nations pivoted to digital services, Germany clung to its industrial strengths, lagging in innovation and new business models. The country's slow embrace of digitalization has left it trailing behind global competitors, especially in fast-growing tech sectors. As Timo Wollmershäuser of the IFO Institute notes, Germany's slow adaptation has fostered complacency, leaving it ill-prepared for today's challenges. Many business leaders now worry that the country's traditional strengths may no longer be enough to secure its future. The legacy of past success now threatens to hold Germany back in a rapidly changing world. As global competition intensifies and new technologies reshape industries, Germany faces a critical moment: adapt and innovate, or risk falling behind. Recent data paints a stark picture. Germany's economy contracted in both 2024 and 2025, with only faint hopes for recovery. Leading institutes have slashed growth forecasts. IFO now expects just 0.8% growth in 2026, while the Bundesbank projects a sluggish rebound. Germany is falling behind other major economies, highlighting its struggle to regain momentum. Inflation has stabilized, but that alone can't drive recovery. The Bundesbank warns that Germany is only marginally benefiting from global growth, a sign of eroding competitiveness. The Ministry of Economy describes the country as caught between tough global conditions and slow internal stabilization. The numbers tell a clear story. Germany's economic giant is searching for a new formula for growth. Germany's industrial sector, once the heartbeat of its economy and a symbol of post-war prosperity, now faces profound uncertainty. For decades, German engineering and manufacturing set the global standard, fueling growth and providing millions of stable jobs. But today, the sector stands at a crossroads, challenged by forces both at home and abroad. While some industrial orders rose in late 2025, key segments like steel saw sharp declines, and overall production remains flat. Factories that once ran at full capacity now operate below their potential, and uncertainty clouds investment decisions. The export machine is sputtering, with Germany failing to capitalize on global growth due to waning competitiveness. Rising energy costs and a strong euro have made German goods less attractive on the world stage, eroding the country's traditional export advantage. Tariffs and protectionism threaten an economy built on open markets. Trade tensions and new barriers have forced German companies to rethink supply chains and seek new partners, adding to the sense of instability. Nowhere is this crossroads clearer than in the auto industry, which has been slow to shift from combustion engines to electric vehicles. German automakers, once global leaders, now scramble to catch up with international competitors in the race for electrification. The EU's compromise on emissions targets offers only temporary relief. The sector still faces a costly transformation. Meeting stricter environmental standards will require massive investment and a willingness to embrace new technologies. The government hopes increased public spending on defense and infrastructure will spur recovery. But bureaucratic hurdles remain. Delays in project approvals and complex regulations slow the pace of change, frustrating both industry leaders and workers. The old industrial playbook no longer works in a world of fractured supply chains and shifting alliances. Global shocks, from pandemics to geopolitical tensions, have exposed vulnerabilities that demand new strategies and greater resilience. Germany's industrial heart isn't failing, but its rhythm is unsteady. The sector is searching for a new beat, one that can restore confidence and drive future growth. Its future depends on embracing innovation, digitalization, and sustainable technologies. Only by adapting to these new realities can Germany's industry hope to regain its strength and secure its place in the world economy. Germany's most daunting challenge is demographic. A shrinking, aging population threatens its long-term prosperity. Projections show the population could fall from 84 million to 75 million by 2070, with nearly 27% over pension age by 2038. The dependency ratio will nearly double, straining pensions and healthcare as fewer workers support more retirees. Labor shortages will hamper growth and reduce tax revenues, creating a vicious cycle. Immigration is the only viable solution, but rising anti-immigrant sentiment and tougher asylum rules complicate matters. Germany faces a paradox. It needs more people, but political and social resistance is growing. The demographic time bomb is ticking, and the window for action is closing. Germany's bureaucracy is a major drag on recovery, stifling innovation and investment. Excessive red tape and slow digitalization frustrate businesses and citizens alike, delaying projects and discouraging startups. Outdated infrastructure and sluggish internet rollout widen the innovation gap with global competitors. The regulatory environment favors established players, while risk aversion stifles entrepreneurship. Experts call for radical simplification, massive investment in digital and physical infrastructure, and a cultural shift toward innovation. Without bold reform, Germany risks being left behind by faster-moving economies. Economic data only tells part of the story. Germany's mood is one of deep pessimism and nostalgia. A 2025 Ipsos study found nearly half of Germans would rather have been born in 1975, reflecting a longing for the past. Many believe life was happier and more secure decades ago, shaped by today's economic and geopolitical anxieties. Consumer sentiment has deteriorated, with households cautious about spending, further dragging on growth. Yet, there are bright spots. Domestic tourism is booming, as Germans seek comfort at home. Still, this optimism is isolated. The broader mood is anxious and divided. Societal pessimism has real consequences, influencing politics, investment, and the willingness to embrace reform. The nation's mindset will be crucial in shaping its economic future. Germany's struggles reverberate across Europe and the world. As the EU's largest economy, its stagnation weakens the entire bloc, reducing leadership, budget contributions, and market demand. The ECB's cautious monetary policy reflects the fragility of Germany's recovery and its impact on the Eurozone. Politically, a weaker Germany fuels populism and challenges European unity. Globally, Germany's export model faces headwinds from protectionism and rising competition, especially from China. Economic weakness limits Germany's geopolitical influence, even as it pledges more on defense. The crisis is forcing a reassessment of key relationships, with China, the US, and within Europe. The choices Germany makes now will shape its role in a rapidly changing world order. Germany stands at a crossroads, facing a crisis rooted in demographics, innovation gaps, and a shifting global economy. The old formula no longer works. A new strategy is needed. Experts call for slashing bureaucracy, investing in digital and green infrastructure, and crafting a sustainable immigration policy. Success will require a cultural shift, embracing risk, entrepreneurship, and a belief in new prosperity. The world needs a strong Germany, both as Europe's anchor and a global leader. Germany has overcome adversity before. Now it must summon that spirit to build a new economic miracle. The quiet crisis must become a call to action for Germany, Europe, and the world.